All right, City of Lagos, you're still with us on the Money, Business, and Economy show right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And as so far as IPOs go, we've been having quite a few. There was, I think, 2007, 2008 was probably the year of the Nigerian IPO where, everywhere you looked at, there was an IPO happening. And after a while, it kind of looked like, things just went kind of dry and we didn't hear about much anymore. And, generally the economy just went quiet in that area. We're great. This year was supposed to start with the hope of at least two or three, but at least we're able to pull some over the line. And another one is the one we're looking to pull over the line. That's Sky Aviation Handling Company Limited. That is Sachol. It's going public. It's basically what you need to understand about Sachol. I just want to give a bit of an introduction. I'll let the people from there speak about it. But if you've ever had to bring in goods into Nigeria, maybe you've ordered something from outside Nigeria, you've gone out abroad and then you bought a container and you brought it via the airports into Nigeria, you generally might have used the Sachol warehouse. There are only two, anyways, at the airport. So you might have used one of them. Anyway, City of Lagos, let me do the introductions right now. I have the Managing Director, CEO of the Skyway Aviation Handling Company Limited, Mr. Basil Agwarumi. Did I get that? I think I did. Did I get it?
Yes, you did.
I did. Awesome stuff. And for the true Nigerian seated right next to him is the Assistant Manager of Corporate Communications, Adetola Vanessa. Just you know what I did there, right?
Definitely.
So City of Lagos, she has a very unique first name, Nwasohia. Yeah, it's the consonants in the word. It's totally Nigerian. Where's it from?
From Edo State.
Now I get it. It makes all the sense now. All right, welcome to the studio. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio. So let's start with Sachol and your operations. I started to understand how the airports in Nigeria worked at maybe around 2010, 2011. And there was always this general thought about Sachol, about it was very well run, and in the fact that looking at from the management perspective, it looked like it was a company that was making a lot of money also because it was properly run. So if you could explain to us what the company does and how its operations is handled.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. We are from Sachol PLC, formerly known as Sachol, that is Skyway Aviation Handling Company Limited, now Skyway Aviation Handling Company PLC. Sachol, as you heard, we actually a gateway to import and export within the aviation industry. Generally, we are involved in what we call the aviation ground handling service. By this, it means that everything that happens on ground when aviation is mentioned, we are in charge of it. Now, we are basically into about three major services. First, we talk about the ramp handling services. That has to do with all that happens when the aircraft touches the ground. And while the aircraft is on the tarmac, there are a lot of activities that happens around the aircraft, from the step you give to the aircraft, the ground power unit, the cleaning services, everything that the aircraft will need on ground, even up till the air conditioner support while it's on ground. So we make provision for this. It will shock you to know that even when you talk about loading an aircraft putting passengers and loading the aircraft, you don't just load anyhow. There are people that have been trained to manage the load of the aircraft. We call them the load control officers, and these are part of our staff. So what we are saying is that an aircraft doesn't take off from the ground to go to the air if it is not safe on ground. So safety to us begins from the ground, because there are a lot of expertise and professionalism that is put into it before a successful flight is made from the ground. And also we talk about the passenger handling services, and that has to do with when you buy your tickets from the either the airline or the sales agent. By the time you get to the airport, every contact that you made at the airport before you get into your aircraft is managed by the ground handling company. Then you talk about the cargo handling services. At this point, from the time the cargo aircraft touches that is the ground at the tarmac, we take charge from there of loading the aircraft or loading cargo into the aircraft. We're out seeing the cargo, then contacting the owners of the shipment before this process of clearing is started. So these are some of the duties and the functions. There could be some other ones that are attached to these other ones. For example, we have what we call a premium lounge, whereby if you don't want to stay at the general airport environment, we can house you in our facility just for further comfort before you board your flight. We have a security service which we call the Sachol Aviation Security. What we do is that from the checking of your passports and so many other security processes to enable you board the aircraft. So we do all this, and that is what Sachol stands for. We provide, we take the burden of ground operations away from the airlines, so that the airlines can just concentrate on moving passengers from one point to the other.
Do you know, I mean, I'm now glad that I brought you into the studio, because I did not know that you did all of this. In my mind, I was just thinking it was just about the warehousing alone. So that means I have had interactions with you, at least your company, without knowing it many times.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I say we actually, yes, maybe our story has not fully been told, but we seems to be the heart of aviation. Because if you are talking about aviation, I'm going to tell people, without a successful ground handling operation in any airport, an aircraft cannot successfully take off or land in that airport. That's why you could have situations if maybe an aircraft coming in from abroad calls an airport and he knew that there is no ground handling operation in that place, the aircraft will not even start the journey.
Interesting stuff. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Now, I mean, this is now beginning to make me want to ask how valuable the company is, because I'm thinking, okay, so we're doing, Sachol is offering ordinary shares of 50 kobo each at 4 naira 65 kobo per share in the IPO, and basically we know that okay, so I think it's the group said the acceptance list would open November 12th, which has already opened, and it will close December 19th. So right now, 4 naira 65 kobo to get in. I mean, the business must be good. Business must be really good, because I mean, another thing I wanted to say is that you guys are doing a great job, because we didn't even know that you guys existed, but you are there, you know. Because I just thought that it's the airlines that do everything.
Okay.
You know, because I mean, it's the airline I pay, so I don't do any other person.
Yeah, you see, what we actually do is that we see ourselves as partners to the airlines, and the airlines knows that. So when you talk about the population of the staff at the airport, you're talking about the ground handling staff. Possibly an airline could just come in having 2 or 3 staff, and they can do their operations. And
wow.
Because
you guys are on ground.
Yes. There are facilities that are required for these services, and they are huge facilities costing quite a lot of money. Now, talking about possibly where we came out from, maybe I need to make people understand that Sachol is the only surviving aspect of Nigeria Airways, the liquidated Nigeria Airways.
So that's true.
Yeah, Sachol has been there all the while. Like I'm going to tell people, we are the only ground handling company that understands the needs of the airline. So that's actually what made us unique. Yes, as at the time Nigeria Airways was going down or being liquidated, the government, in their wisdom, felt that there was need to privatize the company, and that was exactly what happened in the year 2009 when the CFAS group of companies came in and took over Sachol. But since that time, it's been it's been news of good things happening to the company, because we've seen a ground handling company grow from almost nothing to almost becoming the leader in ground handling services in Nigeria today.
Amazing
So
stuff.
those are some of the unique things I can tell you, because it's not just things, the claims I want to make, because I want to believe that there are Nigerians that are listening to me, and they go through the airports and they understand that if it is not Sachol today, there's indeed no other ground handling company, because we've had even clients or airlines moving from our competitor from between 2009 to today to come to our service. As I talk to you today, we have the best custom bonded warehouse, not just in West Africa. Yes, in West Africa we are the best, and we have one of the best in Africa. That is why I show you that is the place to be. And anybody that does, for example, cargo handling, they will tell you that the best place to be is the Sachol warehouse. And when you talk about our passenger handling services, we have the best of staff giving the best of service. And I can tell you, when you talk to our partners, they will tell you that the right place to be is Sachol.
I think I can attest to that, because I mean, before even having contact with you, I've heard about your services. It's quite good. So the question now is that why are we doing the IPO now? Why have we chosen now? What's the strategic outlook for the company in terms of coming to the market at this point?
Yes, Sachol is actually a very successful story. Like I just said to you, in 2009, the government decided to privatize Sachol. And what they did was that at that time, they did what they called the willing buyer, willing seller, whereby 100% of Sachol was handed over to the CFAS Group of Company. So, and while in that handing over, there was an agreement that was signed called the Share Purchase Agreement. The agreement said that after a period of time, in short, it was supposed to be 5 years after, that Sachol, some percentage of the company will be given to the Nigerian public. So, as I think sometime last year, BP, hearing the news of the growth of Sachol, decided to visit Sachol. So when they see the expansion and the improvement that has been done on the company,
it's like it's time to give Nigeria their
BP
share.
said it is time for Nigerian to go public. Yes, like you said, I mean, some of the fears that you have raised on the market were raised, but BP felt that this is the time, because the company has done so well. And don't forget, too, that the BP also has an obligation to Nigeria to tell them that privatization works.
True.
So they saw Sachol as a test case that they can take to Nigeria and say, come, privatization is a good thing, that if you privatize,
it can work.
So it's just, I mean, BP really is an opportunity for them to blow their trumpet that, yes, they did this and they've done well. And so they felt Nigerians should buy in. So that's exactly the reason why we are going to this. We are respecting. Well, like I'm going to tell people, Sachol is an organization that believes so much in integrity. And so if we sign an agreement and it is time for us to go, it doesn't matter what's on that side. We felt it is time
to honor
us,
that.
To go to the stock market. That's why we are
interesting.
Going to the
So, what will we channel? I mean, the funds that we hope to raise from this, will it go into bigger operations, more equipment? What are we looking to do more?
Fortunately, before now, if you know how Sachol has survived till now, like I want to tell somebody. Maybe you need to know the brain behind buying Sachol from the government is a man called Dr. Tawa Folabi. I call him a Nigerian with a very large heart. And what has happened is that because his model has been that even when the company was not having money, it was just pumping in money, and that has really helped us to stabilize. And so now, like I said earlier, Dr. Folabi through the CFAS will bought Sachol 100%. So what is coming in, they are selling.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
so
Okay. Makes
it's-
sense. Makes
yes,
sense.
so they are the ones selling the shares. So it's their
That's
company.
that's return
So
on
they are
equity.
yes, that's exactly what is
That
happening.
is time that you have put in your investment. Now
Yes.
it is time to
To-
profit. But I mean, it's a good thing because not only does it show the success story of the company itself, it also shows the fact that you can invest. Put your trust in a Nigerian entity. Grow it to a certain point and then reap the benefits of it. I mean, so if you have some cash, instead of keeping it under your mattress, yes, you can come and buy.
Yes, I think
my company.
Yes, at this point, I need to make Nigeria understand
Yeah.
that well, I am there and I can tell you this. Fortunately, I joined Sachol when it was Sky Power Aviation Company Limited before government privatized in the year 2000.
Okay.
So I've been there, so I understand the working of this organization. The best decision any Nigerian can take at this time is to invest in Sachol. And it's been made so easy that all you need to be part of this company at this time is just 2,300 and about 2,300.
Yeah,
Because
basically.
a minimum of 500 shares.
Shares, yeah.
So you can't say you cannot get that because, like he said, I think I've heard it from Nigerian Info that some of the regrets that people will always make in the future will be the things that should have done today that you didn't do, because there's a future. I can tell you, Sachol is the company of the future, and you cannot make this investment and you will regret. From the one that you drop in that investment, the returns begin to come. And I need to say this. Why am I saying this? I think for the first time also, about 10% of the shares will be given to the staff of Sachol. So you are having people working in the organization that have ownership mentality. So because they are part owners of the organization, we have about a staff strength of about 1,500 people, and so they will.
When is that? Sorry to cut short. I'm asking for my personal self now. When is that window closing? Can I come and can I be a staff now? so I can plug in.
Yeah, and I mean it's been done in such a way that shares belong to you as long as you remain staff of the company.
Yeah.
So the shares will be in a pool. So anytime you are leaving the company, you will collect the value of that share at that particular time.
Amazing
so
stuff.
any new person coming picks is free to pick from the pool. So that is the beauty of it. So when you see staff that are inside who are part owners of the organization and their company is running, so they will not want anything to happen that will affect the growth,
because I mean,
or the fortune of
this
that company.
This is the company where you say, when you see those scenarios, this Nigeria scenario, when they say, why are you overdoing it? Is it your father's company? At this point, it is really my company.
So it's your company. So we talk about that ownership mentality and culture. So any staff that is in Sachol typically becomes a part owner of the company.
So before I'm going to look at engagement in the future, but I want to talk about the company seeing itself in 5 years from now. What does the company see itself doing 5 years from now?
Yeah.
Maybe 5 years is too short. Can we say 10 years or 5 years?
Well, let's even go to 5 years.
Okay.
What has even started now that maybe the public are not even aware of. As I talk to you, first I need to tell you that as at the time Sachol was sold to Cifal Group Company, the value of the company was 5.52 billion naira. As I talk to you today, Sachol that is from 2009 to this day, the company has grown to 15 billion plus.
Wow,
as I talk to you now, because gradually it's all about having the right equipment, having the right certification, having the right expertise. As I talk to you now, we have quite some equipment, some on the IC,
on the way,
some on the wharf trying to be cleared, and there are some that we have already paid for the manufacturing.
Wow.
So and so we have clients that are coming into Sachol. Well, sometimes when you are at the battlefront, you don't declare the full. Yes.
Oh, okay.
To the. So we see Sachol growing, and there are so many things that we have on the offering that we know that automatically it shoot up the fortune of Sachol. If you have been listening to the news recently, even up till now, we're also pushing even we have our generic department to begin to manufacture ground handling equipment. That's even money that would have spent given to the foreigners to produce equipment. Recently, we have been in the news where our engineering department, from scratch, using local materials, produced a fuel bowser. And I know what that would have cost us getting it from abroad. So those are the kind of things, and we are challenging them. Before now, we've been producing pallet dollies in-house. So we are challenging them to go all out and do more. So we are bringing the equipment, and you see, one of the things that we pride ourselves at today is that we have a very certified workforce. And when you have workforce that are happy, that are ready to go all out, then the sky, like you said, can only be our starting point. Sachol of the future in the next 5 years, we are consolidating on the achievement that we have made now. And I can tell you, we are also doing some expansion. And within a very short time, too, we have the plan to expand to some parts of Africa, especially starting from West Africa.
Wow.
So these are the plans of Sachol. That's why I felt, and I'm saying it, that if you invest in Sachol, and I assure you within a very short time, I think up to recently, one of the joint issuing house did an analysis of Sachol by saying that even the amount of which is going to the market is even very underpriced. That's pricing it for about that's the current price should be about 5.5 naira kobo plus. So, but this time we just felt, okay, Nigeria, come and be part of it, and I think that the more, the merrier, the better.
Okay, so I'm trying to find issuing houses. So we already know that the price for the share price is 4 naira. I think 4 naira 65 kobo per share. So of course, you can't just go there and buy one. Because I'm sure one person is thinking that how will I go and buy one now?
Minimum of 500.
Yeah, you have to buy a minimum of 500. That's the way the market works, anyways. So you have to buy a minimum of 500, and that's about calculating it 2,000 something plus
2,300, less than 2,400.
Exactly. So and the way IPOs work is that you bid. If you are lucky enough to get in, yeah. I don't know what will happen if when it's oversubscribed.
Yeah, because that's why it's good. Who wants to buy now? I
think
this is time
plug
to
in,
run into it, because if we are only selling about 30% of the company.
Yeah, 30%.
And so if it's oversubscribed, because of the share purchase agreement, said it must be spread across the 360 local governments in Nigeria.
Wow.
So if your
local government
yes, so that's why it's better you go in now, because if you don't, money.
This is marginalization.
Yes, the money. Yes, the money will be refunded. So that is why, if you have the intention to buy into that 30%, I think it's better you go to, you look for.
Okay, what about
bank.
people like us that are from two parts of Nigeria?
Maybe you choose one part. You choose the part you choose to belong to.
Because I mean, this is that's we have to get in on this, because I mean, I'm thinking about there was during that IPO period. I remember there was I can't remember if it was Dangote sugar that came to the market, and people were slow, and all of a sudden, like a week to the end of the closure, I think people just woke up and then started rushing in to buy. And at that point, they said, this thing, you stop buying. You will return your money. you get. Eventually, they had to cut everybody check and say, sorry. Yes, this is your money back. Because obviously, you can't sell more than you came to the market to sell. So 30% is what you're just selling?
Yes, 30%.
Wow. Wow.
30%.
So if you want to get in, and you've heard that it must be spread around all the local governments in Nigeria, if you are not from two like me, sorry for you. I will claim both sides. So I will write Lagos and the rest. All right. I wanted to ask Adetola. I'm always... So, City of Lagos, she has a very unique first name. The way she pronounces it and the way it is spelled is completely different.
It's actually Wanso here, and that's
Waso
his
here.
surname actually.
Oh, it's your surname.
Yes.
Oh, it's Waso here.
Yes, please.
It's UANSOHIA.
Yes.
And that's from Edo State.
Yes, please.
Oh my God, Nigeria has very beautiful names, and it's for me to even learn how to. The problem is the first time I'm coming across it. It's very unique. So I'm talking about engagement, public engagement with. So for instance, I was in and around a at least shipping at some point, and I knew part of the operations of Sachol, but I didn't know that you guys did as much as this. You
Yes,
know,
we do.
so is there more engagement plans to get the general public to know more about what you're doing?
Just like my MD has said, we are out there, we are ready. And don't forget that we do not handle you directly. You have to go through an
Yeah.
agent
Yeah.
for the cargo warehouse.
That's the thing. We didn't know you existed. You were just the one behind. You're just looking at us.
Yes, and of course. So that's how it works.
Yeah.
So we and of course our warehouse, just like my MD has said, is one of the best
Hmm.
in this part of the world, and we are improving as it goes. And of course, our services are very fast. They are safe.
Mm.
They are efficient. Our warehouse is RA3 certified,
Mm.
and what that means is that European carriers trust us enough to bring in their
Cargo there.
cargo and then clear it as well. Yes.
Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. All right. I want to thank both of you for being with us in the studio. It's been a great discussion. So you've heard the city of Lagos, 4 naira 65 kobo, IPO, Sachol. Go out and buy it. Sky Aviation Handling Company PLC. Yeah.
Maybe they might want to know where to get
Yes,
that from.
where to get it from.
I will advise you can see a stockbroker. Also, you can walk into any branch of GT Bank or Zenith Bank. But if you need to get the form, I think it's easier for you. Just go to www.sacol.com. You will see
The IPO
yes,
prospectus.
the prospectus is there. You can print out the prospectus, the form, just fill it, then take it to any of the GT Bank or Zenith Bank
And you'll
for
be able to
submit. Then
okay.
yes, you automatically qualify to have part of the shares. Thank you.
All right. City of Lagos, you've heard. You want to do that if you want to do that. So, yes, get in on that. I want to thank both of you for coming into the studio. Want to thank Wasohia, Adetola, Vanessa. I got it this time, right? Do you know the funny thing? I've been saying it in my head, like, as you were talking, I was saying it in my head, Wasohia. I was saying it in my head. But finally, I got it. I want to thank the MD. She is the Assistant Manager, Corporate Communications. I also want to thank the MD CEO, Mr. Basil Agwarumi, for being with us in the studio. Thank you very much for coming with us. It's been a pleasure. City of Lagos, want to thank you. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday, yeah? Tomorrow is Thursday, and we'll be doing Policy Thursday. Quite a lot to talk about. It's packed. We'll be starting immediately. So you want to look out for that. We'll be talking about the Nigeria the Global Prosperity Index report, and then we'll be tying it into a lot of things. You know, just basically stick around for that. It's too much to consume. We'll be doing that tomorrow, so want to stick around for that. City of Lagos, want to thank you for being with us. Look at your timepiece. It's 9:57 on a Wednesday morning. A very young one. Still do go out and be profitable.
Let's talk business.